So let's do my true art rework here. Let me just change the resolution. Show you my rework. Here we go. Yeah, I thought the pics should be reworked too, so I changed the pics. Because I don't like the pics in game. At least not the FP. Yeah, I just don't like the pics at all. I mean, this is off-center. This is called clay minions, but those aren't his clay minions. Those are his like clay little balls, little insects. C4 Karura. I think they should show the, bomb tearing somebody apart. Clay clone, this one's fine, but it has an effect that it adds a stack of C4 if somebody's attacked. So I wanted to actually show that in my version, so it does show the clone, but it also shows Deidara using his trap on them that will give them stacks of C4 in Ultimate Art. So the biggest issue I have with this character is this skill, this passive. That isn't even really a passive most games, because if you kill him last, the passive doesn't exist. And if you're an idiot, you kill him anything but last. So most players in this game aren't idiots. So you know what that means? That means that this character does not have a passive effect, even though they added a passive effect. That's a problem. He should be able to blow himself up at a certain amount of HP. It should not be up to the enemy when this activates, because that means they can make this passive not exist. That is bullshit. It was bullshit in Art is a Bang on the original Deidara and Naruto-Arena.com and .net. It's why those characters were reworked. This type of skill sucks. But this type of skill is really fucking good if you allow Deidara to choose when he can blow himself up and kill himself. So that's what I'm going to fix it in my rework, and that's what I did fix. So the first skill I totally reworked. I don't like this, but I wanted to do something kind of similar. So my skill costs 2 random, it's action, and it's pretty much permanent. So it gives him 20 permanent points of damage reduction and deals 5 damage to a random enemy every turn. So that's representing him like summoning his little clay clones and having them like swing at people, just kind of punch them and shit. Every time a new offensive skill is used on Deidara, he loses 5 damage reduction, and the attacking enemy is dealt 10 piercing damage and marked for 1 turn. So I stayed with the piercing damage thing because I understand that the other Deidara is the affliction damage character, so I did not give him all affliction damage. Stay true to the original design. So this, every time a new offensive skill is used on Deidara, he loses 5 damage reduction and the attacking enemy is dealt 10 piercing damage. That's representing like, somebody going to attack and then Deidara sending the bomb after him and blowing one up. It's just like what happens in the anime. So when the skill has its damage reduction reach 0, it ends. It also can't be used while active. But what's important about this is that every time somebody attacks Deidara and he loses 5 damage reduction and they take 10 piercing damage, they're also marked for 1 turn. So that's gonna, so similar to this, so what this does is make it so this skill isn't random, right? So this skill deals 25 piercing damage to a random enemy and grants them a stack of C4. So I didn't really like that this can't be counted or reflected. That didn't make any sense to me. But it did make sense to me to make it ignore invulnerability, bypass invulnerability. Okay, so when somebody gets marked by the first skill, this skill is able to specifically target them. So not only does this not fix this issue of this only lasting for 1 turn, you know, making this not random, and this being on a cooldown of 2, which means you're not using it very often. This has potential to, you know, happen every turn basically, which is great. Because being able to choose somebody to attack, and this is especially really good in 1v1s. You know, if somebody attacks, not 1v1, 2v2, 2v1s or 2v2s. But anyway, it's going to give a stack of C4, alright? I totally reworked C4 Karura. So, may only be used on an enemy with at least 1 stack of C4, okay? When used, all stacks of C4, it consumes all stacks of C4 to deal 5 permanent affliction damage to the target, plus 5 additional damage for each stack consumed. So if it has 1 stack, this will deal 10 affliction damage permanently. And then this effect cannot be removed, countered, or reflected in stacks. So that's where I felt the cannot be countered or reflected should be put with this skill. So this just makes a lot more sense for what this skill is. I don't like that this deals 20 damage to somebody who attacks him. I think that's stupid. Make it do what it did in the anime. It went inside somebody's body and fucking blew them up at a fucking microscopic level. That would be what? Something like permanent affliction damage, right? Much better. I mean, this skill is awesome. This is what C4 Karura should have been. Okay. C4 Clone Trap. Deidara will ignore all the damage dealt by enemies for 1 turn. So I stayed true to that. But I also made it Deidara during this time gains, any enemy who uses a new skill on Deidara during this time gains 2 stacks of C4. So instead of 1, it's 2. And then this is where I really complete the character. When Deidara is at 40 HP or below, this skill swaps to CO Ultimate Art. So this is no longer passive, but it is, but it's not. So look, Deidara kills himself to deal 30 piercing to the enemy team. So once you're at 40 health, you can use this skill. So you can blow yourself up and kill yourself at 40 HP for 3 random, okay? This is going to deal 10 additional damage, so I kept this effect for every stack of C4 and /or effect of one of Deidara's skills that each target has active on them when this effect is activated. Then here's the best part. This effect is cast automatically if Deidara dies. So that still happens, but he can also blow it up at any point. Speaks for itself. It's been Kito. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys, and bye.